of the classes. I'm going to be showing some review of what I've been going over pretty extensively for the past like 2 weeks. I know not a lot of us have, well, not all of us have seen it, and then I'll be going into some stuff I haven't covered very much, stemming into like the octopus guard. Can I use you, James? Perfect body type. So, starting from when our opponent is on her knees, or on his knees rather, all of this stuff is predicated, at least the first couple of things I'm going to be showing, on our opponent really committing to staying on their knees and being a bit cagey, not willing to come forward. So from here, we're going to pull ourselves into half guard and look to start entering our butterfly hook as well, right? So there's like two main ways people play half guard. Typically either the knee shield, looking to wrestle up with the underhook, or what I'm going to be showing today is the half butterfly. They both have their pros and cons. I think the pros of half butterfly is you can kind of play it in a similar way to a knee shield, right? If I keep my knee in the center line of his body, I can use it just like how I would a knee shield, right? Just like this. If he leans into me, I can now keep him away with frames and use my hands to start to attack. But it also gives me the benefit of lifting him straight up in the air. So after I get my half butterfly, so if we're starting a knee shield, I simply just keep my frames in place, remove my right leg from the knee shield, put my left foot on my own, or my right foot on my own left thigh, and now we're in the half butterfly. Relatively easy to get to. And now from here we can start to work 2-on-1 grip on this arm. So I'm just going to make a simple grip on his wrist, and my free hand is going to look to shoot in between his rib cage and arm to find the elbow. I'm doing something pretty specific here. I don't want to pull him straight out like this. I instead want to create a bend in his arm so I can look to start setting the Kimura grip ideally. So from here I'm going to push his wrist towards his hips and pull his elbow to me. When I do this, I'm going to kind of allow the chest-to-chest position by simply moving my knee out of the way and just placing it to the side of James's body. So I start pulling him here, removing my, my knee shield, and now from here I've got a pretty good attachment to James. We can do all of the sweep, or the sweep that I'm going to be showing, with either this grip, the Kimura grip, the belt grip if we're in the gi, or like this far lat grip. But I think this is probably always going to be the strongest one, right? We can stem directly into submission attacks if I can get to the Kimura. So this again, just real quick, starting from the knee shield half, I keep my frames in place and switch to half butterfly. I make a grip on the wrist, I find the elbow, I push his wrist towards his hips, pull the elbow to me, and remove my knee from the center of his chest. From here, now, this can be kind of dependent on what he is looking to do, right? If he is liking the idea of being chest to chest, he'll probably allow me to start setting this Kimura grip by keeping himself low. If he starts to sit up, this is when I'll start going to either the overlap grip or this belt. But ideally I want to get here. And from here, I can now look to start crunching inwards towards this Kimura grip. And now I'm going to drop my left leg entirely out. If his feet are in the way, so I can't place my actual foot on the mat, it's not the end of the world. But ideally, I would like to be placing my toes in the mat like this. As long as I'm not holding him down with my own half guard and trying to lift him at the same time, it should be fine. So after I remove the left leg, I'm now going to start pulling him on top of me with both of with the Kimura grip as well as the butterfly hook. So I kind of lay flat back for a moment, and I'm going to start turning onto my right side and elevating my right leg. As I do this, my left leg is going to tuck in, placing my foot on the mat, elevating, kicking him over top. From here, we could simply just come up and look to take the top position and finish the Kimura grip, or we could stay on our side and can get into more like Kimura trap systems where he starts looking to turn towards my head. I get my right knee in this space here. My left leg can now either find the hip, so I can start pushing forward and taking the back like this. You jump over my leg. Or I can capture the shoulder, shrimp back into the crucifix, or if he continues to turn, I can now throw my leg over the face as well, shrimping back and getting into the side triangle. I'm not going to dive too deep into the submissions because I've shown all of those things pretty extensively in the past. We're just going to be focusing mainly on the sweep. So starting from the knee shield. I go to half butterfly, I make a grip on the wrist, I find the elbow. I pull the elbow to me while I'm pushing the wrist away, removing my knee shield, or the knee from the center of the chest. From here, I can now switch to the Kimura grip, keep my arms right where they were, the grip on the belt, or the grip on the lat. Either way, I crunch inwards, drop my left leg out, I pull him on top of me with my butterfly hook, pulling my left leg up, putting my foot on the mat. From here, I continue to turn to the right, elevating with my leg, and from here, we can now go into the series that I just showed, either coming up on top or going into the Kimura trap system if you're familiar. Does that stuff make sense? I know review for some of us, but others it's new.
Do you find that if somebody gives you a pullback reaction that you can usually pull them through that, or do you usually go to something else?
Pull, like they really resist the chest to chest.
Like, you start trying to elevate and then back up.
So, you're saying like after we get here and he sits his butt like to his heels, like this. From here I'd probably shrimp out and look to start like getting my knee into play and maybe going into like more joy bars.
Any other questions?
Alright, good.